often only pay attention to cinematography when it's flashy, with striking lighting, colour, or framing. But even the greatest cinematographers have to start with the basics, the fundamental tools required to tell a story visually. And one of the most definitive compendiums of these fundamentals is Joseph Mascelli's The 5 C's of Cinematography. Cinematographers have been learning from Mascelli's book since it was published in 1965, and it continues to be relevant today, giving beginners and seasoned vets alike the foundation on which their craft rests. Mascelli himself was a cinematographer, having worked on several films throughout the 1960s, so he knew better than anyone else that rules were meant to be broken, but he also knew that rules were there for a reason. He writes, "First learn the correct way. Don't simply do it a new way, which very likely was new 30 years ago." For Mascelli, the rules boil down to 5 pillars, which conveniently all start with C: camera angles, continuity, cutting, close-ups, and composition. In today's episode, we're going to focus on the first of these C's. Mascelli argues that the camera angle determines both audience viewpoint and area covered in the shot. Yes, there are high angles, low angles, and eye-level shots, but Mascelli's use of camera angle referred to camera placement at large. He writes, "A carefully chosen camera angle can heighten the dramatic visualization of the story. A carelessly picked camera angle may distract or confuse the audience by depicting the scene so that its meaning is difficult to comprehend." Mascelli outlines 2 types of camera angles: subjective and objective. Conventional understanding states that subjective relates to an individual perspective and objective relates to a neutral or global perspective. But Mascelli flips this relationship. For him, subjective camera angles are from the perspective of the audience, like a wide shot that shows where characters are. Objective camera angles are from the perspective of a character, showing us objectively what they're looking at. But these weren't point-of-view shots. Mascelli describes a POV shot as a hybrid between the subjective and objective. A shot that has the camera cheek-to-cheek with the actor, and one which can help transition coverage from subjective to objective, or vice versa. Mascelli also outlines 3 factors a cinematographer must keep in mind while placing their camera: subject size, subject angle, or how the camera is placed in relation to the subject horizontally, and camera height, how the camera is placed in relation to the subject vertically. When selecting a camera placement, Mascelli argues, the cameraman should ask himself, how much should be included in the shot? Where should the camera be positioned to view this particular part of the action? He outlines the considerations as follows: aesthetic factors, how a shot looks; technical factors, what can be achieved with the equipment at hand; psychological factors, how a shot embodies the character's feelings; dramatic factors, how a shot furthers story; editorial factors, how a shot will cut with other shots; natural factors, such as time of day and weather; and physical factors, where a camera can physically be placed.
Wendy, listen!
Everything starts with the camera angle. Where a camera is placed can tell us so much about character, emotion, mood, story, and more. In the meantime, are you feeling ready to put Mascelli's lessons to good use? Start planning your shots with StudioBinder's pre-production software. Stay tuned for our next episode in this series, Continuity.
Somebody take me!
Until next time, good luck finding your angle.